Everyone has anxiety about their job, but imagine if everything you did at work was constantly scrutinized by everyone in the entire world. Sounds terrible, right? But that's exactly what every Hollywood actor goes through, so it's no wonder that many actors have nightmares about standing on stage naked or forgetting their lines. But while botching dialogue in the buff sounds extremely embarrassing, it would be infinitely preferable to actually screwing up so bad that your mistake cost your boss tens of thousands of dollars, which is exactly what some of Hollywood's biggest stars have done. Lights, camera, accidents. Let's look at some actors who made very costly, very awkward, and expensive mistakes.
Action!
Gag reel.
Brando's overnight flight oversight. Shooting The Godfather wasn't exactly smooth sailing. According to Harlan Lebo's book, The Godfather Legacy, actor Al Pacino botched a stunt jump during the scene where Michael Corleone makes a mad leap onto his getaway car's bumper. Pacino painfully twisted his ankle and strained a ligament, and the injury forced him to alternately use crutches, a wheelchair, and a cane to move around between takes. Several major scenes needed to be rescheduled so Pacino could recuperate from the accident. But Pacino's mistake sounds like peanuts compared to Marlon Brando's scheduling snafu. On his very first day of shooting, the legendary actor was supposed to show up to the New York Eye and Ear Hospital. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Brando missed his overnight flight from Los Angeles to New York, a seemingly small setback that cost producers plenty of cash and a full day of shooting. Brando's scene was rescheduled for the following day, but his flightiness, or lack thereof, set producers back a whopping $40,000.
I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Eric Stoltz caught with his McFly down. In one of life's alternate timelines, Eric Stoltz would have played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy. Stoltz was initially cast as the lead in the classic 1985 sci-fi comedy and even played McFly for 5 weeks. Unfortunately, director Robert Zemeckis didn't like his performance, despite being, in Zemeckis' word, a magnificent actor. Stoltz reportedly couldn't tackle the comedic beats required for the role. Producer Steven Spielberg agreed, and the Universal brass gave Zemeckis the go-ahead to replace Stoltz with Michael J. Fox, the director's original choice for the role. According to Cassine Gaines's book We Don't Need Roads, the making of the Back to the Future trilogy, Stoltz was gutted when Zemeckis fired him. But for cast and crew, his departure may not have been the worst news in the world. Co-star Leah Thompson claims Stoltz could be very difficult. He had reportedly driven folks around the bend with his dedication to Stanislavski method acting techniques, provoking eye rolls aplenty. Between recasting the film and rejiggering the shooting schedule to accommodate Fox, $3 million was added to the budget.
But I wanted to tell you that it's been educational.
Kurt Russell is no guitar hero. Veteran actor Kurt Russell could be accused of chewing scenery in classic 80s schlock such as Big Trouble in Little China. And after his colossal mistake on the set of Quentin Tarantino's 2015 western The Hateful Eight, he can also be accused of smashing up extraordinarily expensive props. To set the scene, actress Jennifer Jason Leigh portrays outlaw Daisy Domergo, who strums a guitar at one point in the film, but not just any guitar. The instrument was a vintage Martin guitar from the 19th century, loaned out by the Martin Guitar Museum in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. While shooting his scene alongside Leigh, an unfortunate misunderstanding on Russell's part led to an expensive catastrophe. The intention was to swap out the instrument, replacing the Martin with a shoddy prop guitar, which Russell would subsequently pry from Leigh's hands. Apparently, Russell didn't get the memo.
Give me that guitar. Music time's over.
This cut wound up in the final film, and Leigh's reaction to the gaffe was genuine. Russell destroyed a guitar worth roughly $40,000. Leigh told Billboard he was so distraught upon realizing his mistake that his eyes literally welled up. Dick Boak, the equally distraught director of the Martin Guitar Museum, told Reverb, as a result of the incident, the company will no longer loan guitars to movies under any circumstances.
How much?
$10,000.
Damn! Edward James Olmos's Method Mayhem. If Edward James Olmos ever meets Kurt Russell, these two will have an instant icebreaker. Both men broke exceedingly expensive props that weren't meant to be destroyed. In Olmos's case, the gaffe occurred while filming a 2007 episode of the epic reboot of sci-fi classic Battlestar Galactica, a series glossily shot at Vancouver Film Studios on film and HD. Entitled Maelstrom, the episode features Olmos's character Admiral Adama tinkering with an intricate model ship. While cameras rolled, the actor was apparently bitten by the improvisation bug and went for broke, literally. As an actor, it's important to take risks, but maybe not a risk that involves destroying expensive props. It turns out the model was a genuine museum-quality ship the show was renting, according to executive producer Ronald D. Moore. This isn't a prop, this was hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars might be putting it mildly. During a panel discussion at the 2012 Planet Comic-Con, Olmos suggested the one-of-a-kind piece was in fact worth roughly $200,000.
No one told me it cost that much. Boom! Oh, what happened? What? What happened? Oh, this is one of a kind. Oh.
Tor reported the trashed model was included in the January 2009 auction, so perhaps some ravenous Battlestar Galactica fan is dutifully gluing it all back together this very minute.
Find anything else, let me know right away.
If I find anything else, I may retire early.
Noel Marshall's savage mistake. You know what's a bad idea? Casting yourself and your family alongside 150 lions, leopards, tigers, jaguars, and elephants, and capturing every scream on film as everyone is mauled. That's how filmmaker Noel Marshall created the 1981 stinker Roar, which is generally considered the most dangerous movie ever made.
Though we hope to stay, almost slipped away.
The film stars Noel Marshall, his two sons John and Jerry, his then-wife Tippi Hedren, and her daughter Melanie Griffin. While filming, the whole cast was routinely savaged by lions, who charged at the actors and occasionally clawed at their faces. Noel reportedly wouldn't always yell cut, as his family begged for help because he didn't want to lose a take. Hedren suffered multiple scalp wounds. Griffith temporarily quit, fearing she'd wind up with only half a face.
Noel, for whatever reason, was kind of tempting the lions. You could feel the energy of the cats getting more and more aggressive.
Ringmaster Noel Marshall was bitten so many times that he wound up hospitalized with gangrene. The production went wildly over budget and cost $17 million, making it one seriously lavish Hollywood clunker. Hedren must have longed for a simpler time when she was merely being attacked by angry birds.
And you gotta watch out for beer, okay?
Taraji P. Henson's Maserati mishap. A stunt gone wrong during production of Babak Najafi's 2018 thriller Proud Mary cost the filmmakers a hefty chunk of change. The scene involved Empire actress Taraji P. Henson at the wheel of a deliriously expensive silver Maserati and maniacally speeding through the streets of Lawrence, Massachusetts. Henson was quite keen on performing all the required stunt driving herself. Prior to the incident, she had reportedly pulled off all the skids and swerves with ease for 4 solid takes. The 5th take didn't go so swell.
I just miscalculated the turn and I forgot the fire hydrant was there, and the fire hydrant, hey, meet the Maserati, and water was all in the car. And
a professional Maserati enthusiast told TMZ the repairs would likely cost around $12,000.
As the executive producer, I got out, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna cost us, right? I'm putting myself in timeout.